So you have a business and you see some property and it looks like the ideal location, but the problem is that the property doesn't have the zoning that you need for your business because the seller has not yet had it rezoned. This happens all of the time. I've had several like this. I had some lots that were R1, I mean completely residential. They were on a state route corridor and no one was ever going to be allowed to build a house on them again, even though they were residential. But that particular township wouldn't rezone them. It was up to the owner or a potential buyer to do that. That's not ideal, kind of like the land splitting we were talking about. Really, if you're a buyer, you need to buy, if you have a business in particular, you need to buy a property that's zoned business or commercial. You really take a risk if you buy a property that's not zoned for the use that you need. Sometimes when you talk to these counties and townships, they have conflicting information. They're in conflict with each other. So really be careful and let the buyer beware of this, because the buyer doesn't know exactly what they're getting if they're buying a property that doesn't have the correct zoning. There may be more expense involved, or it may just prove to be impossible to do what you want. So we've had some situations in my area where the county has the property zoned one way, the township says it can be zoned another way, but you have to go to a zoning meeting for the municipality and the neighbors are invited. And if they don't want your business in their area, then guess what? You're probably not going to be able to locate your business there. And if you've already purchased the property prior to this discovery concerning zoning, you may end up with land that you can't do anything with. So the buyer always has to beware in these situations like this. The seller can't guarantee use, nor should they ever try to guarantee use on a property that has not been rezoned. That is up to the township in my area or the municipality involved, and those conversations should happen during a due diligence period prior to the property closing if a buyer chooses to go this route. But it's always best to purchase a property that has the zoning that you need for your particular business. So just keep that in mind. If you purchase a property that does not already possess the zoning that you're looking for, you're taking a risk that could cost you a lot of money in the end as a buyer. And seller, you got to watch out about telling people that they can put their business on your property when you don't have anything in writing from that municipality. Especially if you've got something in writing, it's best to go ahead and put it out there, because sometimes you'll have residential in a B2 overlay, or you'll have a property that has a B1 classification where there's more flexibility. So this zoning is really important. You can't just do whatever you want, wherever you want. You have to make sure that the zoning is tight, that you know exactly what you're going to be allowed to do. And you do have to check and see if the neighboring properties can have an impact on what you want to do. So let the buyer beware again, but seller, don't make promises you can't keep either. Let's make sure that we're safe out there when we're buying property, especially if it has not been rezoned to a different zoning that is a better use. If you have questions about this or any other real estate related topic, feel free to call me at 513-236-1254. You can private message me. And if you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe. Thanks. Bye.